Hey guys, welcome to A Good Angle. In this video, we're going to be factoring trinomials when A is greater than 1 with a GCF. We're going to do 2 examples. Alright, so we're going to do our first example. Alright, so we got 6n squared plus 15n plus 6. So the key with this video is that there's a GCF to factor out before you start the problem. So if I'm looking at the 6 and the 15 and the other 6, I know that the number 3 goes into each of those numbers. Finding a GCF is your problem, okay? You have to look for it or else it's going to pass you by and you're not going to get the simplest answer. So you need to look for a common factor in all of your numbers. And if there isn't any, move on. Once I have that GCF, I'm going to put it on the outside and then factor what's left on the inside. So for this specific problem, if I take a 3 out of a 6 by division, I'm left with a 2. Same thing for the 15, 3 out of 15, 5, 3 out of 6 is a 2 again. So I'm just doing some reverse multiplication there, or division. Once I do that, now I want to look at the inside of my problem. I'm going to ignore that GCF and I'm going to do it just like a regular problem. So 2n squared plus 5n plus 2 is my new problem. And just like in the previous video and in part 1, I'm going to multiply the 2 and the 2 to get 4. And then I'm going to find factors of 4 that give me my middle term by addition or subtraction. So in that case, I have a 1 times 4 and a 2 times 2. Well, obviously 1 plus 4 is 5, so that's the combination that I have to use. So we've done this before, so I'm going to be a little bit quick here. So I'm going to split the middle term, 1n plus 4n, because those are my magic numbers. I'm going to bring everything else down, okay? And then once I bring everything else down, I'm going to group everything. So I'm going to put the first 2 in parentheses, and then I'm going to put the second 2 in parentheses. And I'm going to find my GCF out of the first 2, okay? So we've done this before, okay? So this part is normal. It's the end where you get a little bit funny. So I'm finding my GCF, which is n in the first part, and then finding my GCF for the second part, which is just 2, and 2n plus 1 is left what's on the inside. Notice my parentheses match. So I bring my outsides together, my matching parentheses together, and that is my problem factored. But wait, remember we had that 3 in the beginning? I cannot forget the 3. That is a major key, okay? So when I factor, that needs to be in my answer. But the funny thing is, when I'm solving, so if your teacher asks you to take the extra step to solve for n, then I can ignore the 3 again and then just do n plus 2 equals 0 to n plus 1 equals 0 and n equals negative 2, n equals negative 1/2. And you're done. Let's try that una vez más. So I have 16b squared plus 60b and then minus 100. So again, GCF, yo issue, okay? Find it before you start your problem. Look at 16, 60, 100. Do they have a number in common? Why, yes. Yes, they do. That number in this case would be a GCF of 4. So I'm going to take that GCF out, okay? Factor it out. When I divide 4 into 16, what do I get? 4. When I divide 4 into 60, what do I get? 15. When do I divide 4 into 100? I get 25. Okay? Then I proceed like normal. There's a number in front of the b squared, so I have to do this problem the long way, okay? 4 times 25, which is 100, okay? And then, once I get that 100, I'm going to find factors of 100 that add to give me 15. So we're going to list all the factors of 100. 1 times 100. 2 times 50, 3 times nothing, 4 times 25, blah, 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 all the way till I get to the end of the list. So then I look for the magic pair that's going to add to give me a 15. So if I'm going through my list, I can cross off the ones that are not going to give me a 15, and then I can see 5 and 20 can give me a 15. That would be 20 minus 5 to give me that 15, which is what I want. And then I'm going to split my middle term. Instead of a 15, I'm going to use a 20 and a negative 5. So 20b minus 5b minus negative, same thing. Bring everything else down, okay? Once everything else is brought down, I'm going to lump the first 2 together, lump the second 2 together, okay? Make sure if there's a negative in front of that 5b, that you bring the negative into the parentheses, okay? I know that looks funny, but if you leave it where that plus sign is right now, you are gonna mess yourself up. So make sure you bring it into the parentheses. So let's factor. Let's find a GCF of 4b squared plus 20b. Well, there's a 4 that goes into both numbers, and there's at least one b that goes into both b's. So I'm going to take it out to the outside, and I'm left with b plus 5 on the inside. So then I'm looking at the second set, and notice it is negative 5 first, so my GCF needs to be negative. If that first position in that set of parentheses is negative, you always want to take out a negative GCF. And then left on the inside is a b plus 5. That negative 25 turns into a positive when I take out the negative out of it. Okay? Our parentheses match. I love it when my parentheses match because it means I am doing my job right. Okay, so bring down the outsides, 4b minus 5, and then slide together the matching insides. Bring down your GCF. Don't forget it. That is part of your proper answer. If you don't, you're going to get it wrong. And then solve. Just set the parentheses equal to 0 when you're solving, because that 4 set equal to 0 is 4 equals 0, and that don't make no sense. So solve those parentheses, baby. Once you do that, b is going to equal 5/4, and b is going to equal negative 5. And like magic, you have an answer. Thanks for watching A Good Angle. There's more videos on factoring if you didn't like this method, so go watch one if you need to. Later!